out to sea. What happens is there are 6 rounds or 6 sections of this. 3 judges take each section. The judges move from section to section after each one. There's the other 5. Now what will happen? They are just watching their patients swim out to sea. They take it easy because they are not racing. But there are 2 swimmers that come after them. He's the rescue tube swimmer, and that rescue tube has taken over from the reel, line and belt in terms of sort of the one-on-one rescues. Reel, line and belt there. He's the belt swimmer. He will now what's called lay the belt, taking it off the reel. The reelsman gives him a certain amount of line. He'll turn around and lays that on the ground. The reason he's doing that is because that way he can then get into that belt quickly for the rescue situation.
Now with modern technology and the rubber ducks and so forth, how much is this applicable in this day and age, what we're seeing here?
What you're seeing here, Ken, is just pure tradition. This is not how rescues are done. The reel, line and belt as it is there, that used to be, I suppose you go back 20 years, that's how rescues were done. Exactly what these guys are doing. They'll run up, they will go to that reel. The reelsman takes there's a brake, and the handle on the right hand side controls the hauling in, and there's a brake on the left hand side, also on the right hand side, that he controls to control how much line the beltman gets.
And I guess it's all very subjective on how the judges go with each particular team. I mean, do you have disputes on, you know, how they work out who was the winner and who did the best?
Well, there is a perfect run through that you can do. What happens is if you make a mistake, you lose a point, you're deducted points. So the team that does the perfect run through has no points.
Yeah.
And everyone is supposed to do it exactly the same way at exactly the same time. And because the judges move, there's a judge just walking past. They go from section to section, so you're not judged by the same 3 people all the way through. So you can do it. If you do it perfectly, you lose no points. The beltman is now on his way out to the buoy to pick up the patient. What you'll see is when he gets to the buoy, his arm goes up. That you can hear them encouraging their beltman because this is a timed swim and this is a race.
After it's all over, is it an immediate result, or is the tabulation of points and all that sort of thing got to go on?
It's one of the most frustrating things about this event. You can wait for 1 or 2 hours after the event is over. Because it's done on a point system, all the points have to be allocated. So the judges have to compare cards to reach a medium for all of the judges on all of the teams. And that can take anything from 1 to 2 hours. Now what's happened? The beltman has got there, picked up the patient, and now the reelsman has to haul them in. And you can see that's the patient and the beltman. You see the line.
Yeah.
Now that's the line he just towed out. His foot is on that crossbar because he's got to keep that reel steady and level. The tube swimmer, and now there's that brake that he used on the way out, and the handle does the hauling on the way in. There are 2 linesmen there that are also expected to help, but really they're there more to participate in what they're about to do. This fellow is the one doing the work.
Well, of course, as you said, in days gone by, this was the face of Australian surf life saving. And you see a lot of this equipment here. I'm wondering, you know, to keep this tradition going, and is this sort of equipment easily available? It's all got to be specially made? I mean, what is the process there?
Well, these guys have their special reels that they use just for this competition. To go back to how things used to be, what used to happen was lifeguards, or lifesavers on the beach, before IRBs and before other things came along, would go down, and if there was a rescue, they'd say to a member of the public, you give me line, I'm jumping the belt, and when I put my hand up, you haul me in, and that led to some mayhem as well. Now there's the rescue. We speak about resuscitation and the basic skills of resuscitation. There's a man on the chest, he counts while the man on the head does the breathing for the ECC.
It's good stuff, and something.
So how do we get a team to look like champions? The coaching I will leave to my friend and coach Paul Edwards, who will take you through the steps to achieve the best possible results for your R&R team.
Five-person R&R for competitors from under 12 to under 15 with no swim, from under 17, under 19 and open all with a swim. Training ideally should last for 1 to 1.5 hours twice weekly. Marching plays a big part in our event, and I suggest you obtain a copy of the March Pass DVD as the techniques are similar. The coaching ideas also have merit for our event. Each session should start with a warm-up to include marching, marching with the reel and also the march-on. reforms, and the front, in line and abreast. After the warm-up, break the event into sections 1 through 4 and also break down further into segments, e.g. the belt lay, for more effective concentration. Choose 1 or 2 sections per session, followed by 1 complete run-through. The march-on. Practice marching with the reel with the team in their correct positions parallel to the water's edge. Look for the reel level, marching in time and arm swings. The patient should be in the centre of the reel, drum, and approximately 645mm on the beach side of the reel, or far enough out so that the arm swings do not clash with 2 or 3. The wheel is commenced when the centre of the reel is in line with the beach position wheeling peg, with number 1 900mm from the peg. On the command left wheel, the team shall do 6 paces, with the reel finishing facing up the beach with the patient in the centre of the reel and 900mm from the peg. Refer to the diagrams. Continue up the beach and halt so that the rear handles are approximately 2 paces from the positional peg. The down reel. The reel party squat by bending their knees with the body erect. Release the grip on the handles and rise together. March 6 paces forward to be 4 paces behind the reel, with all team members altering their length of pace and direction. After the front, number 3 should be directly behind the centre of the reel.
R&R teams.
On the command positions, number 1 runs down the beach and enters the water. The other team members march to their allotted position behind the reel. Right dress to come into line and face forward again. A good coaching tool you can use is to talk the team through their current activity.
Beltman.
On this command, number 2 will march 3 paces to the side of the reel, raise her left arm at right angles at the shoulder and the elbow. At the same time, number 3 shall march 2 paces forward to the right-hand side of the reel. Releases the brake, takes control of the belt, lifts it to its full extent with the Ds coming together and places the belt under number 2's arm. Number 2 takes control of the belt with the left arm and fingers at the front, marches 6 paces to the centre of the reel. Takes control of the belt with a right hand, does a left about turn, takes control of the belt with the Ds, steps forward on the left foot and goes down on a right knee. Centres the belt with the centre of the reel, moves her left foot in line with the D, adjusts the neck strap, left hand right into the D, right hand right in, and draws the line across as far as possible. Throws the loop towards the reel and completes the loop by running her fingers up the line, and comes up to attention in time with number 3. The team then runs to a position in line with their wheeling peg and waits the next command.
Judges change. Beltman.
All members run independently to their respective positions. Number 3 controls the reel. Number 2 picks up the belt, puts it on, and runs down the beach directly in front of their reel position. Numbers 4 and 5 pick up the line in their right hand and run down the beach behind number 2. Number 5 should be 6 paces behind number 4 and preferably in the footsteps of number 4 to create a straight line between the reel and the first linesperson. Independently assume the position for the payout. Left hand in the centre and on top of the head with the elbow squared. Right hand next to the left hand, also with the elbow squared. The right hand then grabs the line and pushes it out to its full extent. Fist on top of the head before the forward movement. Remind the team of their elbows being squared at all times. Fingers pointing straight for the horizon. It may be necessary for the first linesman to incline in the direction of the line. Constantly remind the team members of their fists, fingers and elbows. On receiving the beltman's signal, the team shall cease the payout. Bring their two hands together on top of the head by the shortest possible route to the right hand side, change the grip and come to attention. The reelman comes to attention after the other team members are at attention. Numbers 4 and 5 step forward with their left foot and assume a comfortable uniform stance. Left hand forward, right arm back, and in time. They should keep number 1 and 2 constantly under observation.
At
the same time, number 3 shall step across with the right foot outside the reel. Grasp the reel handle in the right hand, guide the line on with the left hand and wind in the line, observing the linespersons and reel intermittently. Most of the work should be done by number 3. When number 2 is in a position between waist and knee depth water, he shall deliver cease hauling and deliver 2 rescue breaths. Numbers 4 and 5 drop the line, number 3 applies the brake, and they all run to the pickup area. Number 4 takes control of the patient's left shoulder. Good hip support by numbers 2 and 4 is essential. And then the right shoulder when number 2 steps back to the side. Whilst this is in progress, number 2 steps to the right, releases the belt and observes the pickup. Number 4 makes a right turn, patient's face now downwards, and releases the right shoulder to allow number 5 to also secure the patient. Number 3 lifts the legs onto his left shoulder and secures them above the knee with both hands. When the patient is secured, number 5 supports the head. When the patient is fully secured, number 2 does a left about turn whilst observing the patient and takes control of the patient's head. Number 5 returns to the shoulder grip. On the command quick march by number 2, the team all step off together on their outside foot. After leaving the water, the carrying party speeds up its rate of march and marches to a position approximately in front of their reel, does a right wheel and halts on the command of number 3. After the halt, number 5 takes support of the patient's head. Number 3 changes the grip on the legs by sliding the hands over and back. They then lower the patient by going down on their inside knees. Number 5 shall then lower the other knee and shall support the patient's jaw with right hand pistol grip. When the patient is approximately 300 millimetres from the sand, number 4 and 5 break their shoulder grip and slide their hands along to the forearms. Place the patient on her left side and slide their arms from beneath the patient.